is going to be
Wow, I didn't know you were part
down.
Russian.
Just a slightly.
Just a slight.
So, we'll see Rise start out on the defense here on Cafe. We'll see exactly what they want to do here in terms of operator bans. Potentially another Thatcher ban? Oh my god.
Okay, so they have clearly been listening to too much Super After Dark.
Yeah, let's see if it does love its Thatcher bans. Not even on just Cafe as well, but...
Yeah,
another
all three
Thatcher ban
maps
is going to come through.
from Sonics was all Thatcher bans today as well.
Yeah, I think new teams... I don't really know that much about Draak. Maybe played in some lower tier 3 organizations and stuff like that, but... You know, like a Thatcher or a Thermite ban makes Cafe very, very difficult to attack, and if you're not used to it, it can be a bit of a wrench in the works, so... Capital will get banned out by Draak, however, pretty standard ban coming out from them. And I'm kind of expecting an Echo or a Mirror ban, but, you know, we don't really know much about this team. They could throw something weird out here, like a Smoke or a Mute ban could be good against Rise, with the way that they play. We'll see how that does play out. It's going to be the Mirror ban. Okay.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't say that we should go into this game thinking that these guys have no idea what they're doing, because clearly to get to this stage, they must have had a good idea, and I'm sure they're probably watching a lot of competitive Siege like most people do, and they have a clear understanding. It's just, can they put that clear understanding pen to paper?
I'm pretty sure that in the open qualifier, they were the only team to sign up in their side of the bracket, and therefore they just got automatically through. I might be wrong on that, but there were only 11
EU
teams.
looks at you in anger.
There were only 11 teams that signed up for North America, so 8 of those teams did go through, and yeah, there was a few of those that they didn't have any matchups for, but yeah. Echo is going to be the last one.
And then you look at EU, which is just an absolute sty of death and decay.
Yes, the EU bracket was... There's a bit of stuff going in there, but we'll see how things go down as we go to a bar and cocktail lounge defense to start with here from Rise. Let's have a look what's going on here. We'll see Lil Homie pick up the Nook. We've seen a decent amount of Nook today.
That's a great name.
We haven't seen Nook be that effective, though.
Yeah, Nook hasn't had any impact apart from that one round that kind of Zig did with Liquid, where he crouch walked into Bank Garage and made a big play. But other than that, you know, there's been very little. And there's Sophia 6th pick.
Okay. So, I was going to try number 1 and see exactly how it's going to go down, but Little Homie offering, as he said, the 6th pick onto the Sophia instead. But things for Ryan's looking pretty standard across the board. For those of you who might not have been following Challenge League recently, Adam has been a recent addition to the Rise Nation lineup. Kind of one of the more veterans of Siege.
Yeah, he's the final boss of Siege.
Yes, as described by himself in his own Twitter bio, but...
No, I believe him.
Yeah, I believe him as well.
Used to play for Obey, if anybody didn't know. Played at Paris Major, along with, you know, we had Skies and Bosco and Maman and Benji was the roster back in the day, and... well, that roster, as soon as they got relegated, it kind of just evaporated.
Well,
just
didn't
Vano snapped.
Didn't you cast at the Paris Major demo?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow.
Didn't cast that match, though. Didn't catch the quarters.
Unfortunate. We'll move into round number 1 and see exactly how this is going to be playing out. Rise have been looking pretty good in Challenger League so far, however, so definitely one of the more stronger Challenger League teams, and we'll see what they want to do here. Obviously there's that potential where they want to save things for their relegations match if they do indeed make it. But we'll have a look at what that's going to go down with. It's going to be opening with a beastly opening frag onto Juju, and already things not looking too good for Draak, already losing that IQ. Not able to take those Valkyrie cameras off the board, but also not able to really go below and deal with his Cade setup that we saw so famously from August during their Cafe matchup.
We've only seen Rise play Cafe once this season, and that was against Two-Faced, and it was a 6-6 draw, and the split was 3 sides each, so it was, you know, pretty even as much as you can get for two teams that were kind of clashing at the top to begin with, and still will be clashing even though they're not playing each other. As, of course, that last all-important NACL Playday is coming up. Is it tomorrow? I think it is as well.
Yeah, so... There's definitely lots of things to worry about here. Nades are going to go down, however, into the closet, and we'll see if Draak can successfully take over this west side of the map. Looks like they managed to find their way into Piano, go for those pre-fires. Up to Z, trying to find something going on here as Jay has managed to make his way onto the skylights. About halfway into the round now, and Draak are actually making decent progress right now. They've got all their utility still available to them, but so do Rise as well. And a lot of utility that is to get. Vandal still playing a really powerful position here in the freezer. Does get lit up a little bit, but Thermite has actually managed to do the work and find his way into the freezer.
So this is good time management from Rise, being able to delay with the Electro Claws, and it forces Draak now to have to try and turn on the ignition and get moving, because whenever you're up against Maestro and C4s from below, which they have not decided to go and try and hunt Beastly, and still, even Adam can sanction off this main white as Sophia tries to peek on in, but quickly will be deterred, and well, actually inside the site going for the plant, and nobody from Rise is aware of this, and well, there should be the easy frag for England, and he does catch him from behind. So Rise, they will begin their collapse, but Draak are still in it to win it. Oh, I say that. Draak firmly in it to win it now, as a 2v2 is how it goes. Diffuser, though, cold on the floor, and he try and pick that up, and Sledge almost fire on through in towards Beastly. Does get another one. The Sledge is an absolute maniac, but has been down, so 1v1 essentially as Jay will try and look for Beastly, who's right beside the reinforced wall, and he has no idea. Jay now pushing straight in, he has a suspicion, and there's the pre-fire, and Draak, they pull it off. All thanks to the Sledge.
Yeah, Optizi really just bringing in the round for themselves there, and Draak, I think surprising everyone with a really good opening showing here on Cafe, will secure not just the first round for themselves, but an attack round with a Thatcher ban on a Cafe on a core site as well. Like, that was a complete throw and mess up from Rise to allow the Sledge to play like that so aggressively in, because everything was just looking so amazing for them.
Yeah, everything was set up. You had your crossfire, you had your angles, you stopped the defuse going down, it was right in the center. There was really no option there for Draak to get the plant down. I kind of question where the calls were coming from, because we know they have a lot of information. You had Maestro, you had Valkyrie, that's already, you know, how much? It's what, 5 cameras worth straight off the rip that you can have, and you still lack the communication to call out a Sledge is in the heart of the bomb site? Questionable from Rise.
Oh, round number 2 getting underway, and we'll have a look at how this is going to be playing out right now. Rise gotta be kicking themselves after this one, but hopefully they're not gonna let them do that same thing again. They were able to successfully deny the plant last time as well. On top of all of that, but then Optizi just jumps down, he frags out, able to secure the win there for Draak. So we've got a bit of a match on our hands, Demo.
Let's not speak too soon. It's only the first round. We could see a 5-1 split from Rise all of a sudden. And because you've said it, it probably will happen.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
So just let that be aware, because whenever you typically go against something, then the opposite kind of happens to it. You know, but that's just you. Unlucky, we'll say that for you.
Beastly managed to get a really good opening frag here last time onto Juju, and like losing an IQ really early on, especially with this kind of setup, can be pretty devastating. So we'll see how that continues to go down if Beastly wants to continue to play very aggressively with the Valkyrie here, but honestly I think this is the play for Rise, so continue to play aggressively, to continue to try and get opening frags as well. If they manage to pick, you know, like especially like an IQ early on, that could be pretty devastating for Draak's setup.
So Rise still setting up with their prep work, trying to create as many angles and holes as they can, and very typical of the attack. For the top floor, they will first of all breach in towards the piano, get the drones out. Nobody from Rise are trying to excel in that position and try and hold piano away from the attackers, which has kind of been fallen out of favor, I think, for North America. In EU, you'll see that all the time. Teams will set up shop and piano to waste as much as they can and really make the attackers work for control of that side of the bomb site. But whenever Rise are trying to play from below with C4s, it makes sense to kind of keep most of their utility still in the back pocket and kind of allow Draak to fall into that trap of thinking everything goes perfect. C4 comes out of nowhere, and then you're sitting there thinking, oh no guys, we don't have the diffuser and there's no time left.
It's true that there's a definitely error of stalling out here. That could definitely be a big factor moving through, but Draak don't seem to be stalling out too much. They seem to have that control underway, and they seem to have everything set up so far. They just need to find their entry. Oh, but Optizi will find that! He just goes in and goes huge, takes him down, but Beastly and England both shut it down. Optizi does go down, so does Sonic, and that's your planter down as well. Looks like Acid is injured, but not down just yet. Beasley trying to trick it out, and Juju goes down for it. It's all down to Lil Homie and Jay to try and bring this in for Draak, as Jay drops on Red Hatch to support Lil Homie. This is not looking too good for Draak.
But we have seen them in worse scenarios, which they managed to pull it back from. And that, of course, refers to the last round. But Rise are holding firm. Acid and Beast have to be careful, especially whenever there is a crouch walker. And, well, Jay will pick up 2 kills from that. And there's Lil Homie. Once again, Rise, they fall apart whenever it matters the most. And now England, the 1v2. Can he make this happen? Can he make it work? Constant information being supplied, and they know exactly where he is. And Lil Homie will continue with the defuse. Sprays come in, and well, England now 1v1, but still diffuser being planted. All the pressure onto the Jaeger.
14 bullets in England's, 5 bullets left in England's weapon right now. How is he going to bring this in? He did it! He did it with no bullets left. Can you believe it? When the last bullet hits, it takes him down, and England clutches the round. But Rise are falling apart. What was that?
Oh boy. Rise, you're just letting the sledge walk in without any consequence. And then the Nomad did the exact same thing with no consequence. And yet you still pulled away with the round.
Well, the Nomad dropped Red Hatch, pushed through what I like to call Prince, just on that new belt connector into the new. Yeah. She goes through there. She had a Nomad air jab, which I guess that they didn't hear as Acid pushed through. And yeah, Jay picking up a double kill there completely swung around the round into Draak's favor and almost managed to bring the clutch in. But yeah, great plays from England coming out to try and bring in that round, and he did so successfully. We're going to go finally down to kitchen service and kitchen cooking here for Rise.
Okay, second bomb site now for Rise, and hopefully they can keep it together at least, because it is looking very sketchy from them so far. And well, England just about got the clutch down. So, kitchen, Thatcher ban. This should be a strong one now for them to try and deal with. No Maverick though from Draak. Instead, they're going to be bringing the sledge once again. I'm sure probably the top floor destruction is going to be on their horizons. You try and take in control, kind of sweep straight from the top floor, move down in towards mid floor, get inside train, get the sledge going, start opening up all the vertical holes. You can essentially kill like pretty much half of the roamers, or not the roamers, the anchors, just off the basic sight lines that you can get from that train wooden destruction. And well, you need to try and get rid of the bandit more importantly, and no Kaid from Rise, and you can actually try and like hide your Kaid charges away from like a sledge above, which could have been an option for them, but instead they're just going to go for like the standard kind of bandit rather than the, I would say the exotic option out of the two.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, do you want an apple or do you want mango? What do you want?
I like that comparison. I like that one, yeah. I think the Kaid's like pretty useful here as well, just like shutting down hatches. We've seen it a few times as well during the super matchup, so.
Like, also, to add on that comparison, Kaid's a little bit more difficult, so it's like a mango where it's a lot more harder to open, whereas Bandit is a lot more basic, but then the reward that you get with a Kaid charge is so much more sweetening, like the mango compared to an apple.
I think you're getting way too
I'm on a roll tonight, man. I'm on a roll.
Yeah, Halloween's definitely going to be different. But
oh, wait till you hear the puns. You're not ready for it.
Getting to round number 3, we'll see how things are going to go down. We haven't seen Draak attack this just yet. We also haven't seen Rise defend it. They're bringing a pretty similar lineup, but they haven't brought the Kaid. They brought Rook Vandal instead. The MP5 is good for holding those long angles, and I wouldn't really be too surprised to see Vandal playing around that kind of VIP far bar area. But they're not roaming at all.
No. They're very hunkered down in sight, but I'm sure they probably will try and go from like some late rotates perhaps. And straight away, because there is that pressure that the sledge implies, then Bandit just very quickly rotates away, knowing that if he tries to stay in Bandit trick, it will go horribly for him. And now Draak, they should have a free entryway in towards Bakery and open up in towards the A. So, for Draak now, they have everybody alive, they have the upstairs control, but no picks to really get them moved on. So I'm kind of leaning towards Rise having all 5 members alive while Draak pushes in, and it's just going to be another slaughterhouse, and whoever throws the bigger punches just wins in that account.
Yeah, we're getting to that final minute. It is going to be pretty squiffy for Draak, and if they can bring anything to do here, they are going to be opening up entry up into Bakery, but there's that long sight line being held by England as well. It's not looking too good, and there we go, he's going to score a kill from it. Sonic just goes down, and that is the diffuser planter, but little homie's going to pick up that diffuser and carry on to attack. Vandal, as I said, holding in down that VIP, he's going to be peeking out that long angle, as Acid has moved into the prep window to see what he can do, but this is looking really bad for Draak because 30 seconds left on the clock. They haven't really made a lot of movement to see what's going on. Maestro Cam is watching red hallway, and so a few charges are going to go down deep into sight. Little homie's going to drop diffuser so that someone else can pick it up and decide to go for the plant instead. But smokes are going to start to come out as well as Adam playing it patiently and playing his life. 15 seconds left to go on the clock, and Beastly's holding down Kochek as well. Diffuser gets recovered. Optizzy wide peeks out, but Beastly and Acid both score kills. It's all down to Juju and Lil Homie, but Juju's on the roof. He's so far away. He's going to try and go into Bakery, but 3 seconds left on the clock. He will be eliminated, and Rise will take the round flawlessly. This is the Rise Nation we know and love.
That was stiff. That's what that was. Nice and firm, and just everything worked for Rise. All the angles, crossfires, utility, hit its target, Draak. Just really couldn't do anything about that. I like the kind of position that even Bandit got into, because clearly Nomad's seen that Bandit, went for the prone, but the fact that they know that somebody's there behind a window just makes them have to stop and think, okay, how can we push if that guy's still there? We don't have a lot of utility left. There's nobody upstairs to try and give us that cover. So just basically, because Bandit made them feel uncomfortable, it put Draak in a real bad way. So now Rise, they take their second round as we move in to round number 4. And it will be the tertiary. It will be the reading room.
Yeah, reading room is not a bad site at all, but it is considered the off-site, I suppose, of Cafe. But yeah, it's still really good. It's still very, very solid kind of site. Definitely tend to hold this upstairs very, very heavily, and I understand that really. I'm hoping that Adam and Beastly are both bringing shotguns here, because, you know, we mentioned this during the last time we saw Cafe, that you really have to make quite a lot of soft destruction here through the floor, and we've also got the Bailiff pistol as well to help out with that.
Wouldn't be surprised if Jaeger brings a shotgun, because that's not the first time I've seen that, and whenever I do see it, I just think, why? You know, why are you listening to Feral? Like, who listens to Feral?
I do like a bit of Jaeger shotgun, even a Bandit shotgun here. Honestly, in the small bathroom looking onto Pixel, I think a shotgun's a really powerful position there. But England is bringing the 416C carbine, but we do have double shotguns coming out from both Beastly and Adam here. So, also soft restriction is going to be coming through. I want to see exactly what Draak wants to do about all of this. Not a great round for them last time. They were stalled out quite heavily. Let's see if they can make up for it up onto a reading room attack, but they really need that upstairs control. The pulse is going to help out with any information that the defenders need up there.
So Draak looking for wherever he can. Could try and find Vandal on the pulse. That would be some great information to kind of figure out where exactly that player is. If you know who's on site, then you don't really have to worry about trying to hunt him out in the later game. But then again, if you know he's in sight, there's going to be constant information being fed by the Pulse if you're looking at him. I do like the position of playing Pulse on site early on, because it feeds that information to England primarily and will allow him to kind of go crazy with the pre-fires and everything he has going for him with the 416. It's just an information game for Rise, and they're playing it well. You know, you have the Maestro there's also being brought in. They're missing the Valkyrie, which could have also helped, but whenever IQ's being a big operator for Juju especially, then it's okay to kind of let that one go amiss.
Oh, we'll have a look as we get into round number 4. What exactly is going to be happening here? Just about halfway into the round. Lots of droning going to be coming out from Draak, and it's clear from them and their droning that they want to get this upstairs controlled. They've been losing a lot of drones, not just in the action phase, but also in the prep phase very, very early on. I can't help but feel the drone efficiency from Draak hasn't been on point.
Just a waste at C4 there for Beastly. Why didn't you combo that with the information being gathered by Vandal, who also misses out on his kill as Sledge just the sixth sense knows to move back, and clearly with a psychic on Draak. Vandal does, however, make up for a kill onto Sonic, but then there's Juju, and England once again with a 416 pushes on in. Adam jumps on ship, and well, Rise, clean up. Nothing more we can say apart from England is on it tonight.
It's crazy to see England just doing so well in the Jaeger because he's in the olden days of Rise. He used to be that classic kind of smoke main as well, and even like earlier than that as well. So
yeah, because he even dates back to Xbox times as well, which is like
definitely
ancient history at this point.
Adam picking up the role of smoke has definitely been allowed England to just frag his way out of this, and yeah, he's 8-1 right now. He's definitely doing all the work here for Rise, but we'll have a look as it goes down into round number 5. We'll go back to a bar cocktail lounge defense here. Things not looking too good for Draak, but they have won here successfully before, and they almost won again on the round 2 as well. So I think this is definitely the easiest attack for Draak, and it's the closest they've come to really putting Rise on a tilting edge, but we'll see Beastly again bringing the Valkyrie.
But it was the close rounds. Is it down, James, to, you know, Optizzy simply walking in and fragging out with Skull? Or is it the fact that Rise were just really sloppy and allowing him to do that?
It's a combination of both, right? Like, Optizzy needs to be a good entry to be able to actually get those kills where he is, but Rise have to make the mistake of allowing him to do that and, you know, allowing that to play out the way it did, and not being able to trade onto Optizzy when they had opportunities to do so, to, you know, ultimately allow that round to slip away from them. So, it's always a bit of a combination with both with Siege. But we'll get into round number 5, and we'll see if Rise have figured out how they want to do this defense now. But more importantly, if Draak, but they still made mistakes of their own, they were losing a lot of utility very early on, and they kind of stalled themselves as well.
Okay, so you look at Draak so far, and for the most part, they've looked okay in their structuring. It's just winning those initial gunfights that has kind of slowed them down. If they kind of lose that first blood, they take a while to get going. Sure, there is still that kind of clutch potential from already what we've seen from the first 2 rounds from them, but then that kitchen and reading just looks as if Rise were always on top of the game. Now they go to a bomb site, which they have looked to be a lot more formidable on. Again, questionable on Rise's behalf and really allowing Draak to do so. Juju on the GA1, on the LMG rather than like the Commando. What's your kind of, what would you pick if you're the IQ main, James? What's your go-to gun?
I'm quite a big fan of the 5.52.
Yeah, so am I.
I mean, we've seen all sorts come out from
we've seen
IQ mains today, and we've even seen the LMG come out as well. So. You can really bring anything. I think IQ is very versatile in that kind of respect, and she's a 3-speed as well, so she can make it work.
Still, pressure from below for Rise once again, and nobody from Draak has any interest in Beastly. And I'm really shocked that Beastly isn't punishing them more. As I say that, the caster's curse strikes once again. I literally said that he didn't really do much with C4s. He wasn't punishing Draak for allowing him to do that. And there you go. And it's gone.
There it is. That's good for the Thermite and the IQ both off the board. There's a huge picks coming up from Rise. That's going to leave a huge amount of dent in that utility for Draak. I think it's just going to be up to the entry fighting from Draak to try and just make this work again. As Optizzy moves his drones in and sees what's going on. Smokes are going to go out. England's still playing around Pixel to see what he can do here. Maybe Nade's going to come out from here from Optizzy as Jay pushes it all the way onto Newbout, gets control of Heaven as well with the long angle, make sure that no one can push through there as he does pick up Acid. That's the start of the throw as he comes through. Optizzy finds one of his own, but Beastly is going to trade it right out with a 3k and a 4k. This could be the ace for Beastly as it's all down to Little Homie to try and bring this in. He does manage to down Beastly and deny the ace, but he's going to have to find 2 more if he wants to bring this in. He's got 40 seconds left to do it with, but no utility available for him.
No diffuser either. That's right in the heart of Freezer, and as you can see, both players are just lurking around, and that little punch hole that England has been playing oh so well fires through, and Rise, they take round number 5, and boy, I think the stump is occurring.
Yeah, definitely is. Rise definitely have a good grip on how to hold on to Cafe with a Thatcher ban. I'm interested when Draak move onto their own defense to see, you know, how they hold this with the Thatcher ban and how familiar they're going to be with the Thatcher ban, but it definitely seems to be affecting them quite a bit. If Draak do not take this round, I just do not see a scenario where they win the map.
I love that name, Lil Homie. That's a good one. It's like if Homer Simpson was like a rap star.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is friends with Modigger, like, in real life, so he has that connection, he has that...
Then there's Juju. Do you remember the song Juju on that beat?
I don't.
Oh, right.
Maybe we could sing it for us.
Me. No. You know, there's Juju on that beat. Juju on that beat, no?
I'm not familiar.
Now slide, stop. Hit that phone, don't stop. Hey. Don't stop. Hey. Don't stop. Hey, Runnerman on that beat. No? Never heard that one?
No.
Never seen, like,
Maybe if you just sing the whole song.
There was a full dance around it and everything. Full dance around it. Chat, you know what I'm talking about. Please tell me I'm not on my own. I shouldn't be on my own. Because I was a bit of a banger of a tune back in the day.
Well, let's move into round number 6 and see how this is going to go down. This is going to be a critical round, as I said, for Draak to see if they bring it in. But this last time they attacked Kitchen, it didn't end too well for them. They kind of stalled out quite heavily. They had a lot of control, actually, really early on, and it just felt like they weren't able to punish Rise for that at all. Like, they have loads of vertical control. Rise had thrown out a Nitro early on, and I feel like this has been the story of Rise. They've missed a lot of Nitros throughout this matchup. I don't know if it's... We saw that from Optizzy. A C4 literally landed below him, and he stepped to the side, and it avoided him. The guy has, like, 6th sense or something like that.
Okay, Rise, Kitchen, last time looked really strong from Rise. That was like their standout round so far, is just utter domination. All the utility and everything just kind of came together in a massive ball of, hey Draak, catch this. And they just didn't have a big enough glove to catch that with, you know. Baseball reference for you, even though that doesn't exist over where we're from. Said we have softball.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond to that.
It's fine,
one,
we've rugby, you know, that's even more manlier than anything.
But again, like, really heavy C4 play coming out from Rise to just go from below. Well, I say that, they've only got one C4, but they are again aiming to eliminate that vertical pressure with C4s from below from Acid, as Draak are moving very, very slowly through the map to try and get down here and do something with it. But last time they went for a really heavy bakery push, and from the ways that we're looking at this right now, it does seem that, again, Optizzy, of course, bringing that sledge again. The Nitro goes out, but it misses again, and Acid unable to capitalize on that.
C4s have really been the name of the game for Rise. Missed one, though. Impact trick as well, potentially.
How's he gonna do this one?
That could be a tricky one, especially if Fermite places it like on the very edge of the corner away from him. That would be the only thing that England has to worry about. Sledge will begin his remodeling off Cafe. Well, there's another Fermite charge being placed down. And, well, the one thing about Draak, though, they've been great at kind of opening up the breaches without really any trouble for them. Because we have seen teams before who have struggled a lot with a Thatcher, but perhaps it's down to Rise not being interested in taking the Kaid.
Yeah, potentially Thermos are going to go down regardless of that, though. We'll see a little bit more of an entry into the site. Optizzy just opening up all the vertical angles he can as drones go out, but it's going to be Lil Homie who picks up the opening frag. Juju did see the feet there, wasn't able to find a kill of his own, but this vertical play is being abused now, but Lil Homie is going to go down to Adam Smoke. The plant is going to start to go down, however, from Sonic, and that should go down successfully, but no! Vandal pushes up and he takes down Sonic with a wide peak, and this is actually looking way better for Rise now, because even though there is this vertical pressure, it is not being applied correctly just yet. But as I say that, Jay moves through into prep. He takes down Vandal and turns it into a 3v3, but in co-check, it's going to be Beastly.
2-2, Adam Beastly going up against Juju, and still that pesky Jay, who has done immense work so far in this round. Now Adam, final boss of Rainbow Six Siege. Can he prove to be the bane against them? The pings come in. Oh, but what cover from Juju. He is on that beat tonight, and well, Draak, at least they get the 4-2 split.
Yeah, and that's the critical round. That's exactly what they needed, and Draak now remain up in this, and like that's fine. I think they can walk away with that pretty content. I think both teams can be like, okay, 4-2, whatever, cool. That's how it works. But now, moving on to the attack, Rise have got to clean this out for themselves. We'll see how Draak are going to be holding on to this, and bringing the Cade, I think they already have the kind of right idea up here in Bar and Cocktail Lounge. So, looking at this lineup, what do you think? I think this is kind of to be expected from Draak, although the mute may be a little bit out there, with the gridlock being brought by Rise.
Yeah, mute's like the only one that you could probably substitute for. Perhaps a Valkyrie, Pulse, something that kind of Beastly went for quite a bit. Oh, off the kite onto the castle. Right. Now, I don't really see that being too much of an effect for Rise in their attack. I would definitely say they'd struggle more with the kite other than anything. So, unless these are some next-level castle barricades, I'm not convinced, James. Okay, so they're not next level.
No.
They're pretty much useless. Good to know.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the outside ones either. I think they can be good for just, like, delaying time a little bit, but maybe he just wants to hold on to piano for a little bit extra. I'm interested where the third one goes. Looks like he doesn't know either. Okay. Maybe onto the white stairs window?
Just keep that for a rainy day, pal. You never know.
Yeah. It's got to be either white stairs window or it's got to be like the last piano window that he hasn't castled
I
yet.
remember playing a game of casual and somebody tried to castle barricade up like a breach reinforcement wall. So that was like really questionable.
Okay, he's got the bulletproof as well. I like a bulletproof, yeah? Okay.
Right, okay, so they've completely just thrown away this round by doing that, because pretty much now, Smoke is trapped, and he can't move anywhere.
It's really interesting they would play the mute here and not the smoke. Did Octizzy just destroy an ADS doing that? Not
it's
ideal.
it's all falling apart, man.
What's going on with this setup?
It's just all came crashing down for them.
I actually really won't be surprised if they actually just win this round somehow.
Just Rise has got on their heads, man.
Yeah. Octizzy going to be holding the close angle here with a red hole shotgun, as Adam has actually managed to creep in his way below.
Okay, Rise, what are you up to? Taking mid-floor over the basic red stairs is a new one. Are they trying to attempt an east stairs? You know, if they see all the prep work from Draak towards the west side, then hey, perhaps they could just try and drop Skylight and rush straight in. But it is a risky one to go for. They're trying to eliminate the first man inside of the A bomb site, still trying to hunt for him, but yet Maestro is lighting his feet and still maneuvering away from it.
Sonic still getting hit out from below from the book, does go for a bit of retaliation here. Oh my god, England actually gets down through that, but Sonic is very, very low HP right now. Looks like Rise still looking to try and control this downstairs area, but he's used a lot of his skeleton key already and not really made too much progress. Vandal and England both very low HP, as Juju actually goes for the drop. I like this.
Yeah, this is gonna work. He's gonna get at least one kill. If he gets two, then that's like absolutely incredible. Little homie has got the first blood, did give that cover to Sonic, and here comes Juju, who completely whiffs everything that he had going for him. But still, it's in control of Draak. Another one comes downstairs. That's up Tizzy, but now it's a 2v2. Adam on such low HP has to be careful, because we'll be pushing up in towards that back staircase, and there's the castle fires through, and the Maestro will be picked up. Beastly has to go for the repel. Now he's sandwiched between one player and another, two who are both located towards the north side, and he knows they've picked him up. Both of them are trapped, and he's going to try and play the waiting game. Let's see if this pays off for him.
Yeah, Beastly does have control of Cocktail now. He's got to know they're both at heaven right now as well. So he should be able to push up here. He does have control of Diffuser. He's still got 2 Thermite charges, so he actually has a decent amount of utility to try and make this happen. And you'll just be baiting it out as well. Let's see how this well does go through with him, but time is ticking down. 10 seconds left to go on the clock, and he's going to try and push into the LMG, and you won't let it happen as Sonic takes him down, and Draak take their very first defense. And I told you. I told you. Yeah. Somehow they were going to win it.
Honestly, I feel that that was a big throw from Beastly. He could have just went, like, try and bait the defuse behind the bomb, because as soon as you get off, you have that perfect head glitch where they can't kill you. That was like the prime position. It's a 50-50. He got it wrong in the end of it. It just is what it is. 50-50 is like that. It can really do you over. It did there for Beastly this time around, and well, now Rise, they've lost their first attack, but then again it was the bar, which we're kind of expecting to be pretty impervious to like everything that attacks try and throw at it.
But Draak also did win that attack the very first time on bar. And I think that, honestly, from Rise, that kind of strategy going in there, like going below and just taking a lot of control and trying to do the whole kind of like...
Yeah, it was a weird mistake, it really was.
It was a very weird take, and the fact that Draak is just so brave enough to send a mute and a smoke both down there to try and get some frags, and they definitely did do so. So, you know, pushing into round number 8 now, Draak are definitely keeping themselves up in the board. This is going to be a pretty critical round just to, like, look at, you know, is this luck or is this actually Draak being skillful? Is this them being the better team now? To see if they can bring it in, but this is kind of embarrassing for Rise.
You would expect them to have that stump. Every other team which has experience and a notable history has, well, apart from NA, have been able to crush their opponents. Everybody in EU won their matches expectedly. Everybody in LATAM won their matches expectedly. NA has been the only one which has been really crazy, where the smaller teams have really shown up this tournament, and it has made the big teams look like a bit of a joke.
Yeah, no, it definitely has.
Just massive clown makeup, just all over them. Just, that's all it is.
No, there's definitely been a lot of surprises from NA. There's definitely like a lot of talent in the Tier 3 NA scene, so they've definitely managed to show that tonight and across the play days. But let's get into round number 8 and see exactly how Rise want to take this, bringing kind of standard lineup they have been bringing so far on Cafe. Says he loves these bullet holes. He's all about this is passionate gameplay from Mutazzi.
Wow. You just write in your CV, passionate about bullet holes, and that'll get you the job. And, well, those bullet holes, he just has to now move away from them, because already in Pillars is where England is, and he's right in Reading Room. He's on the hunt. They're not messing about. They're all about the hunt, and Acid will find the man they were after. And now it's a 4v5 and Draak on the back foot. So Rise, they have now everything set up. They can go upstairs, utilize the destruction that England can bring with that skeleton key. They look as if they're going for a back take rather than the standard front. They will try and execute towards the freezer and plant inside a B.
Yeah, it does look like it's going that kind of direction. It's about halfway into the round now, and Rise do have a lot of control. Lil Homie on the cap can above, however, hasn't planted one of his entry denial devices. Gridlocks are going to go up onto white, and a little bit of a cheeky angle held by Jay, but will be eliminated by Acid, and that's going to be a good night from Acid as we move into a 3v5. Rise looking very good right now, but this Capcan is still on that roam. That Lil Homie playmaker can definitely do some damage here, but he's going to have to do something sooner rather than later as we move into that 2v5. Rise looking great.
Yeah, Rise should be able to lock up this round and get themselves a step closer to winning this first map.
Oh my god.
There's a 1v5 now that the Lil Homie has to clutch out, but everybody is now on site, and he is now the attacker, and he's been shot down.
Flawless round from Rise, and yeah, Draak don't really seem to have it together here on Cafe. Hopefully they can put up a better fight on Consular. I haven't written them off just yet. We are going to go to Consular regardless of what happens up in this matchup, but Rise with some great rounds there up on the board have put themselves in a 5-3 situation, and you know, if they can just take a couple more rounds, they completely lock out the map for themselves.
Yep,
and
2 more,
that
they win.
is looking very, very viable right now. We're going to go back to Kitchen. Draak are going to try that out again with a little bit of a different strategy here with a Mozzie and Ella put in here.
Okay, so perhaps a little bit more Frykin potential from them. They had the Dock previously and didn't really do that much, and Capcan, as we know, had little to no impact whatsoever. If he has a Titan Killer, then I think Draak win this map. If he doesn't, well, then they lose. That's my analysis.
True analysis. I'm all for the Titan Killer.
Yep.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
It
bombs.
depends where he plays it, because I could see like a Titan Killer playing up in VIP, maybe, would be good. Like having Ella traps all around and stuff like that. Or maybe even in coat check would be really good as well. It really does depend on where this Ella does indeed play, but we'll move it to round number 9. I like the Cade pick here. I think the Cade is definitely necessary here, and also gives you an extra Nitro up on the board as well. Combined with the other 2 Nitros being brought by Draak, although...
Okay, right, so they've lost, so that's good to know.
Okay.
I say you just, you know, if you have the choice between a Scorpion or, you know, a gun that contains all 6 Infinity Stones, I know what I'm picking, James.
Yeah.
What are you picking?
Obviously the Titan Killer.
Thank you. I just don't know what it is about these guys. The Scorpion's just nothing in comparison to that mighty gun. Perhaps it's just the man who wields it. Because you have to be chosen to use that gun.
Yeah, you do. You do.
I'm
You have
one
to
of
be
those
powerful.
many few.
Oh, it's going to be... As you say it, though, Juju is going to get the opening frag and a little bit of a tap from him.
Fluke.
And England is going to go down. Already the book off the board, and that's nades off the board as well for Rise. A critically big pick here coming out from Juju.
Acid trying to make some modern art, and will make his way in towards Garage. So once again for Rise, they're going to go for the back push. They executed it really well last time, but that was thanks to their great roam clear out, specifically England, who was like that first man in. This time he's been taken out. And Draak, now they have the upper hand. Still roamers lurking, and no real aggression being applied to them. They just gave Draak the go-ahead to sit upstairs and try and hold as much as they can. So I'm curious to see what Rise are going to go for. Will they just try and push in sight without clearing really any of the basics? I don't know. We'll see how it shapes up, because it is a strange one so far.
Yeah, we've still got this heavy roam game coming out from Draak, as you said, and Rise seem to have a really weird kind of push going on right now, where they really want to push this backside. They really want to get Freeze Eruption open, and see a Twitch drone is going to go in to try and secure that from Adam, but Beasley's going to take up Tizzy, as he is going to take down Acid in return. But now a 3v4. Rise still looking good though. They should be able to get this freezer open, it looks like, yeah, and they have done so. But we still have roamers on the board.
Yeah, that's the main thing. They haven't went for the aggressive clear out like they did last time. A little shake of the head from Vandal, because he feels as if they don't really have anything they can go off, and well, that's correct. They have little control of any of the building. He knows there's still going to be roamers, but can he win this 1v1 against the man on red stairs? Twitch drone will go out and try and drone in for him, and sees it's all clear, and now they're trying to rotate to Bakery. Rise are just... I don't know, Rise are just trying to find themselves at the moment.
They're trying to find themselves, it looks like, as they try to push in and do what they can. This is a 3v4, not exactly in a great position. Adam's going to give his position away as he takes out the Maestro Camera. However, he's going to know there is someone playing up into Sinks here as he slowly pushes in for the crouch walk. He's very wary of someone maybe in Freezer, but no, he takes out Jay. Now pushing into a 3v2. Oh my god, the Fuser gets into sight but goes down with it, and Adam goes down to the Scorpion as Draak Esports take round number 9. A solid round coming out from them, and Rise not looking as good as they were before.
I just don't know why they didn't go for the roam hunt. It worked really well for them the last time, and now they just threw that away. They should have like a great suspicion that Draak will try and, you know, mix things up and try and play a lot more loosely whenever you see different operators going to be chosen for their lineup. You expect those kind of things, but just Rise not catching on to it and just giving themselves to the mercy of Draak just entirely. And now they have to go and attack this bar, which they didn't do so well on the last time they went here. And Draak, well, they had a great defense. So Rise, they are hitting a lot of speed bumps that ideally these should not be happening for them.
They definitely are, but they've still got the opportunity to bring this in. Still, as we said, just a couple more attack rounds that they need to bring in. They have successfully attacked this before. We'll see if it manages to go down again, but the last time they attacked here, it was almost a complete throw, honestly, by them. I mean, even in BC's 1v2, we did say it was kind of a 50-50 toss with whether you should peek Heaven like that or not, but man, he had a lot of opportunities and really just a lot of other stuff going for him there. But let's move into round number 10 and see exactly what Draak want to do here as well with their defense. But their defense was pretty solid last time, honestly. Rise had this really weird idea of like going below and clearing out with England and stuff like that. I've hardly ever seen anyone attack like that. Like, I've seen, you know, like Buck go below and just do stuff down there, but I've never seen such a heavy dedication of that.
Draak, how will you prepare for the onslaught that is Rise? Please don't tell me they're going for this really weird East take where they try and buck and it just didn't work at all. I hope, why don't they just go for the basics? It makes so much more sense dropping red. The reason why we don't see East Side's take is because they don't work. That's the whole thing about this map and why it's easy to play, because you only have to know one attack for it, and that's it.
Yeah, it is kind of simple, and we'll see Draak have been the team who's exemplified this so far has been able to bring this in quite close indeed. So we see round number 10 getting underway. It's about 2 minutes left to go on the clock, and we have seen England below do his stuff, but it's going to be Beastly on the rappel who picks up the opening frag of the round. Sonic already off the board. Now Maestro going down really early on is definitely a great pick coming up from Rise.
So Rise, they've got that pick that they kind of lacked the last time, and that's a double now for Beastly. So the window pushing him in towards the clear line of sight that Thermite has worked a charm for them. That's 2 of the heavies gone from Draak. The little homie does get 1 back, but very quickly and swiftly moved on by England. And, well, Valkyrie tried to do something in White Stairs, and Adam cleans up House. Rise, that was a quick one, and that was put themselves into match point.
I think this time, because they kind of expected Draak to respond quite heavily to this downstairs take, that you just hold the stairs, make sure they can't rotate down, and Adam just cleaning up sites there. But Beastly also doing work in combinations, like having that repel advantage as well as having England clear out from below, has moved them onto match point. It has secured them at least OT if we get there, but this is looking great for Rise to try and bring. It looks like they kind of adapted on the fly to what Draak are doing. They've seemed to got a lot more familiar with how these defenses have gone down, and Draak, at the moment, not looking too good for them, as they're going to go back to a bar and a cocktail lounge defense. So this one clearly needs some work from Draak.
Wonder if Rise are going to go for the same thing again. Will they go for the east side? Bring the Jackal now. That's an interesting one. Perhaps they have kind of caught on that Draak like the roam game. They're big fans of it. So let's try and eliminate that and try and hunt them down and just take everything they can from that specific operator. And even give some smokes as well, which could come in handy, because smokes are always going to be great for the top floor whenever there's a lot of different crossfire angles can be held by so many defenders. Just being able to cut those off and smoking them away, that'll help them as the final execute tries to come in. But it depends where that execute comes from. Will it be a same east stairs kind of window thing that they keep going for, which has worked once, but the first time it did end in disaster.
Yeah, I mean, it seems likely they're going to go for the same take. The Jackal is definitely an interesting pick. I don't know if you can still do it, because I'm not sure if the TTS changes for Jackal have come through completely or not. I know some elements went through the last change, but you can still, I'm pretty sure you can still scan from below. But you can shoot out the top of like a floor, and you can see the footprints on the pieces of floor you've already destroyed, and you can track those footprints. So not only useful for roamers, but also useful for people on site as well, which may, in conjunction with a book, be very, very useful.
I think it's still TTS at the moment.
I think it's still TTS.
Yeah, still TTS. Definitely would have seen something said about that, but it should be coming soon, I imagine.
God.
Already we see a Hail Mary blood sacrifice to Rise being gave to Optisi. He's just, oh, there we go. Big up Vandal and his kill-hungry mind that he needs those. Feed him, guys.
There we go, he got his frag, and now, match point now to Rise, and they're at a great advantage. That's already C4 off the board. A very aggressive and early play coming out from Matizzi. Unfortunately, didn't work out too well for him whatsoever, as Rise started to take over that control, and England's just like took himself in there. Oh, there you go.
He's gone. So, they look as if they're going for the east side. They haven't gotten reading yet because they're still suspicious of some more characters running around. And, well, they do scan the footprints of the Jackal scans the footprints of the Jaeger, so they have an idea of who they're looking for, but they haven't yet found the Mozzie, who does shoot his weapon and does alert himself. I don't know now for Draak if this is going to work together with everything they have right now, simply down to that Jackal ping, because there doesn't need to be that much drone work if that Jackal is constantly spotting. And a great position now for Vandal as well to try and assist, I'd imagine, the Buck and the Twitch combo to try and push in towards reading.
Vandal just still holding this angle up onto White Stairs and see what he can do here. He sees the Jaeger,
no.
but oh, he gets punished for it. The reaction time just not working out for him. There's a little homie, punishes Vandal for it. It's going to be moving into a 4v4. That is Vandal off the board, that is the IQ down. It's a good pick coming out early on from Draak as they start to control this roam game a little bit more, but they're getting eliminated as England takes little homie off the board. And Juju looking for the refrag to try and bring it in a little bit more. There is a drone actually still in here, this position as well. That could give a bit of info Juju, but it looks like he's just going to play his life here. As everyone's kind of moved away from areas that they can get booked out of. Juju's opening up a little bit of back angle. He's going to let people know he's down there, but smokes are going to go down into the site. As like Rise are going to begin their execute regardless of anything else going on. As Acid picks up that entry kill onto Jay. It's now a 2v4. Juju still playing his life downstairs. Still has that. No, doesn't have a nitro anymore. Smokes have gone down. Beastly is going to plant the diffuser as well. Sonic's pushing all the way through, but no, gets caught out with the freezer rotation angle. It's all to Juju to see if he can do something to work, but no, nothing will work for him, and Rise will take the map 7-4.
First map for Rise was expected, but perhaps we kind of just counted Draak out before they even started playing some Siege. But other than that, Rise, they looked pretty dominant when they did, but sloppy when they did as well. So that's map number 1. Good to go. Beastly had a mad performance in the Fragmite, but still one more map to go, which is coming up after the break.